That is the sound of the jar of names. We shall pick out a name. I have one. This video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Miss Natalil. Right then, so let's get my list so I know what I'm doing. Okay, here we are. So, hello, this is a Cup of Tea podcast. This right here is the cup of tea. Oh, perfect temperature. And this is the podcast. Right then. If you want to head down to the comment section, it might be there, it might not be. You can head to my skip list and you can skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's book club, this week's question, and this week's goal. Let's start off with update. Right, so this week we finish Bastion. Bastion ends this week. We'll talk about it in the topic. We'll talk about names, but it finishes on Thursday, and we'll discuss what happens after that. We'll just talk about it in topic, it'll be easier. But that's happening. Also, at the moment I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of coursework for college, plus a lot of... I feel like we're all right with the YouTube channel stuff. There's still a few things I need catching up with, but the main things I've caught up with, which is good. But I've got a lot of work to do myself personally, so just sort of let you warn you, if anything happens to me, it's because I'm working. And something else I want to talk about as well that is taking up a lot of my time because I can't stop doing it, is I'm working on a new project, hopefully starting it within the new year, but filming it in December. Hopefully it all comes to fruition, because I'm putting a lot of effort into it. I think I've set myself a goal now, so now I'm working towards it. That's why I keep working on it, because I know I've got a deadline now, and I just want to get this done because I'm enjoying it so much, which is a shame because I keep sucking up all my time. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is. There's going to be hints throughout December about what it's going to be. I'll say throughout, only a few hints, but yeah, that's going to be happening. And you might see something about it in December, maybe on Christmas, but it will probably start officially in the new year. But that's been taking up a lot of my time, which is why I mentioned it in the update. Okay, but let's go on to topic then. Let's go on to this week's names. So, bear with me, I'll just drop something on the floor. These are the videos that are coming out this week. What you're listening to right now is this podcast. It's happens every week. You should know this by now. And then also later today or early Tuesday morning, we will get an Assassin's Creed 3 episode, and this one is called Portside Stealth. You can probably guess it's a mixture of seafaring stuff because it's portside, and it's a bit of stealth because it's stealth. Okay, Tuesday we'll have a Bastion video, the second to last video of Bastion. It'll be called Cash Grab, cash on the hype, because that is what we need to get so we can finish the game. There is some... Actually, there's no story elements to it at all. It's just... Well, no, there is. It's just the one remaining challenge, and the rest is getting things to use to do things, because everything else has been completed, apart from the final level. On Wednesday, we've got an Assassin's Creed 3 video called Goodnight Pitcairn, which obviously we say goodnight to another Templar. Now get this, no, not yet. And then Thursday, we've got another Bastion video. I won't tell you what the name is, but it's linked to the first title, which was Kid Sips Tea. So obviously the last title will have something to do with that. Also on Thursday, there'll be the next Let's Play video as well, informing you of what it is. Stay tuned for the question to find out some more information about that. But that'll be out on the Thursday, so we can find out what the next Let's Play is on Thursday. I won't say what it is today, but I'll talk more about it next week as well. And then Friday, now get this, it's called Assassin's Creed 3 video called Goodnight Thomas Hickey. We kill another Templar so quickly. There's a reason for it, and I'm not happy about it. Okay, and then on Saturday we'll have another pointing episode of Assassin's Creed 3. This one should be called New York Pointing. It wasn't going to be, but I feel like I want to get New York sorted before the frontier. So that's what's going to happen there. Right then, anything else we need to talk about in topic? It is no, but it is going on to something else called Book Club. So still reading Mr. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It is really slow at the moment. I think I've got to that point now where I can have a final review of the book. The book is good, don't get me wrong, but it's very slow, and it seems like more of a collection of short stories, like it could have been split into these different books, because you can clearly see where they could have split it. Like, even I can, and I'm not a publisher. But it's still very good, it's just quite slow, unfortunately. So it could have been split into a few books, which would have been good, but that's why it worked for a TV series, I think. But yeah, that's the book club. Beginning to order my Christmas books for the new year. Okay, then let's go on now to the community section. So the community section, here we come. So let's start off with Mention Monday. These are the people that commented on last week's videos. Shall we go through what they are? We shall. So, we have 4 names. We have Spudley Dudley, Horrier, 40k Warrior Man, and Dragonlord 55511. Topics of interest. Spudley Dudley seems to be commenting a lot on the podcast. That is good. I like to see you around, Spudley Dudley. Let me know how you're doing. And also, there was this little debate, well, not debate, but we were talking about the question riddle of this week's, because it was started by Dragonlord, and then 40k Warrior Man sort of took it up while he was away. So there was a little bit of debate there about merging the two together, and it will either be Warrior Dragon or Warrior Lord, or it'll be Dragon Man. It would be their combined name. Right, anyway. And before we go on to the next thing, we will talk about something else. And that is, might be a feature, might not be, we don't know yet. But what is the most interesting thing you've seen this week? Probably on the internet, I mean. But what I've seen, the most weird thing I've seen this week, which I'm quite impressed with, is it was a video of Lego games. The scenery was The Hobbit in the Shire. And it was a Lego Batman riding a Lego K9 around the Shire from The Hobbit. It was kind of crazy. And of course, the K9 is the robot dog from Doctor Who, but I just thought it was crazy because it was so weird and I loved it. And I was like, wow. Yeah, so what's the most interesting thing you've seen this week? Let us know. But yeah, thought it'd be interesting to start listening to see what people say. Okay, let's get now on to the questions. We've got lots of questions this week. We have Spudley Dudley, who says, do you think remakes of movies is a good or a bad idea? They are remaking Gremlins, Stephen King's It, and The Warriors. How do I feel about them? I actually made a video documentary about... that is what documentary is, about the remakes of stuff and sequels and all that sort of jazz. For college I made it for, and it's actually on the YouTube, so I have not posted it yet, but one day I will post it and let you know. But we actually found out it's not the fact that they make money, it's not specifically as well, it's everything, because other companies that make like props and stuff sort of drive the demand for sequels more as well, more established franchises rather than original films, and it's like everything is more... more focused on sequels because they are, in their eyes, safer bets. Like, not just the fact that these sequels make money, it's the fact that the toys make money for it. It's the fact that all these other big companies come to those films rather than original films, because original films are seen as more risky. But that's, yeah. But my opinions on it, don't mind them. If it's a good remake, I don't mind. I liked Gremlins. It'll be interesting to see the new one. Never seen Stephen King's It. Not a big fan of Stephen King. The Warriors I did like, but that is a bit dated now, so maybe that would be worth it. Anyway, next question from 40k Warrior Man, who says, what never asks questions but always gets answered? What is it? Well, I believe it is a doorbell, because it always rings and everyone always answers the door. But technically it can't be a doorbell, because the doorbell doesn't get answered. It's the door. But I'm not sure. I think that's the answer. First question from Horrier says, hey JD, what is your stand on 40k, Warhammer 40k? Are you a fan or not at all interested? It's quite funny that I said 40k Warhammer, because I never really paid attention to it, never really been interested in it, really, to be fair. But I do believe 40k Warrior Man likes it, because obviously 40k Warrior Man, it's kind of in the title there. So that would be my only interest in it, I suppose, because 40k Warrior Man seems to have named himself after it. I think I've seen a playthrough of one of the recent-ish games ages ago by Bebop Vox, but he did not do the game justice, and I don't think it was a good series he did. So I think that probably put me off a little bit, but I do know about it, so there is that. Anyway, I've got another question from Horrier, the second question, who says, name that movie. A man in a rubber suit terrifies millions. I'm guessing this rubber suit is the costume he wore. It wasn't actually part of the film itself. So I'm thinking probably King Kong or something along those lines. Yeah, I'm going to say King Kong, because I don't think it was the rubber suit in the story that he's wearing. I think that was, yeah. Judging from the way these hints have been going, I'm going with that one. Okay then. So now we have one from Dragonlord55511 who says, "Hello, Sir JD262. I have a question and a riddle for you. Question: what is the cheese of choice in the area where you are at?" Don't think there is one. Not that I know of, anyway. A certain cheese that I like is a brie. Brie's a nice cheese. I just had some. It was delicious. And the riddle: I may be of the eye, in order I am pie. In my centre there is a star, but I keep medics where they are. What am I? Hint: it is the fruit that Sir Isaac Newton was working with during his studies of gravity, as well as they say that one of these will keep the doctor away. P.S. Wait a tick. Have I asked this riddle before? I'm not sure if you've used the riddle before. I don't think you have. But I didn't even need the hint. I knew what it was. It was apple. Because apple of my eye. Obviously, apple pie. But I don't get the order. In order, I am pie. I don't get that bit. But obviously, it's apple pie. But anyway, yes. Let's go on to subscribers this week then. So, we went from 1,233 to 1,239. An increase of 6 names. These are some big numbers. Well, big for me. But we have 3 new names this week, so we welcome to the community Thurban Soldier 434, Monster Purse, and Phil Davies. So welcome all to the community. If you've seen something interesting this week, let me know what it is. Mine was Lego Batman riding Lego K9 in the Lego Shire. Try saying that 5 times faster. Okay, what's next? Questions it is. So last week's question was about what do you think the next Let's Play is going to be. I will not tell you what it is today, unfortunately. You'll find out on Thursday or next week. But Spudley Dudley says the next Let's Play might be Mafia 3 or Watch Dogs 2. And Horia says, I'm going to guess Dishonored, since Dishonored 2 came out. Right, now I will say it won't be Mafia 3 or Watch Dogs 2, because those are the next in line in the sequel. They're sequels, so it would either be the first Mafia, Watch Dogs, or Dishonored. It will be one of those. But that's what I'm going to assume it is. So it won't be Watch Dogs 2, I won't jump straight ahead, or it won't be Mafia 3, I won't jump straight ahead to that. So I'm going to say that it definitely is one of those games. I will not say which one, but I will say it's one of those. All I will say is one of those games is theorised to be related to Assassin's Creed. But maybe I'm just saying that for the fun of it. Maybe that's got nothing to do with the answer. Cryptic. Oh, by the way, I forgot to do the hint for Cup of Adventures video this week, but it wasn't a very good hint, so I've just left it out. Right then, this week's question now. Right, so since I've finished Bastion, I love the ending. There's two choices, which I've theorised from the beginning. The one I chose, when I was watching the ending bit, I could literally see it as an anime, and I really want it to be an anime, like of this Bastion, like this ending that I chose. You can see on Thursday what I did, but I talk about it in there as well. But oh my god, it'll be so great. Like, literally the best anime I've ever seen. Similar to something like Fairy Tail, but also with bits of like, that one anime. In fact, this is my question to you as well. There's an anime where it's like a game world, and they come into the game world and they have to get quests and stuff, and they have to pick a class. And I saw it ages ago, but I can't remember what it was called. I didn't watch it because it wasn't a sub. It wasn't a dub. It was just sub. Does anyone know what that anime is called? But it looks like the Bastion anime would be like that. So that's what I want. So if you can tell me what anime was, because I really want to know what it is. It was like a group of people that came into a game world or something, and they had to join a guild or something, and they had to do quests, and they had to pick a class or something. And I think there was a romance between the lead character and a female, I think. Then again, it's an anime. That's bound to happen. But yeah, if you know what it is, let me know, because I really want to know what it is. Yeah, but that's not it. This week's question, apart from that, is if you could have an anime series of a game, what would it be? Mine would obviously be Bastion, because I've just told you why. Or haven't, but you'll find out on Thursday. But yeah, let me know what you'd like. Ones that have anime series don't count, such as Azura's Wrath, and that's all I know off the top of my head. Okay, but let's move on now then to something we missed last week and the week before, which is much to Horia's dismay. This week's comment does go to Horia, who says, so I guess it's official, Spear is JD's shtick. And then in parentheses, or stars, it says, Rimshot. Very good comment. I like the fact that you said shtick, because a spear is a bit like a stick, but shtick is something else. But it's quite funny, so I'm going with it, indeed. Although you lose points for rimshot, I don't find that appealing. Okay then, let's move on now then to goals. We're nearly finished. It's a long podcast, but it needs to be done. So last week's goal was to, finish the documents for next week of quarter 4, which is the couple of adventure videos, each planned documents of those. I did say I probably wasn't getting them all done because I had planned to get up to 5 done. I didn't really do it, although I would have done. But I didn't do it because I hit the one where I've got to do my Christmas presents that I get people and things I get myself. And obviously that means I have to try and spend money to plan that out. And whenever I spend money, it takes me a few days to really come to terms with the fact that I want to spend that much money. So yeah, that's why I haven't done it, because I still need to purchase the presents, which I'm going to do hopefully in a minute. But yeah, by next week, that is this week's goal, is to finish those 2 plus 1 more documents. So 3 left to do. 2 for Christmas Day-ish, and 1 for my birthday. So yeah, 3 to do. Should be easy enough to do. We will find out what happens next week. Okay, but let's do the end now then. I just turn over my page. Yeah, so let's finish this cup of tea. Right, so last week's film, it was, well, it was a TV show actually. It was, what was it? It was, From Whom, Mom? If it does not belong to you, then from whom? Yeah, that was from The Crown, which is the new Netflix TV series I've seen. Yes, I finished it. I'll talk about it next week, though. But yeah, that's what it was from. Yeah, so we'll see what it is this week. But that is it for now. So until the next time we meet, I will say farewell. But I will leave you with, and this is a tricky one, because you have to get the right film. What film? Keep the change, you filthy animal.